Hello, and welcome to today's recording of Assassin's Creed Syndicate. We are 2 games away from the release of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This is day number 76, so we're almost there. We're getting there. Today, we're going to do sequences 1 and 2 of Syndicate. We're going to recap the series, and we're going to talk about one of our assassination targets, Sir David Brewster. So let's hop in and take a look at where the story is now, and when we have a moment to speak, then I will catch you up on where we're at in the story.
The past is your playground. Abstergo.
Hello, Initiate. Recently, Abstergo Historical Research began several new projects in London. We both know that when Abstergo makes big moves, the Templars are up to something. We think they're hot on the trail of a new piece of Eden. I've got people in London looking for it.
Hey, Bishop! Jacob and Evie Fry are twins. How awesome is that?
Speak of the devil. Fire up your cameras, Bex. I've got picture. ETA on the payload?
Sending it now.
A lot to sift through. I'm gonna get the Initiates on it ASAP.
You look weird with a weapon. Let's plant a little bug and see what we can see. Got something. Isabel Ardant has a meeting here in a few hours. Doesn't say with who.
Doesn't say with whom, Rebecca. I suppose it's down to Muggins here to find out.
Hold on. The mission was to find data to locate a piece of Eden in London.
We did.
And now, I am eager to try this new kit.
I don't like it when those two go off book like this. Well, all we can do is take a deep breath and move forward. You'll be searching for the piece of Eden through the lives of Jacob and Evie Fry, twin assassins who operated in Victorian London. Your first set of genetic memories are downloaded. Good luck.
Brother George, it is as I feared. London has fallen. Thrice I have written to you begging your aid. Thrice you've responded with silence. And yet I write again. So desperate my need, so few my options. I need you. London needs you. You would say it is too great of a task, or that it is not yet time to strike. Patience, you would counsel. But whilst you wait, the Templars consolidate their power. They have chosen a Grand Master so ruthless, so thorough, one might think Reginald Birch himself had returned. His name is Crawford Starrick, and he intends to rule the world. There is no aspect of society he does not control, no industry that escapes his grim touch. By day, it is corrupt merchants and venal politicians who hold court. Come night, a vicious street gang known as the Blighters strikes terror in the hearts of all. There is no business untainted by his poison, no person unexploited, be it by duplicity or force. Our enemy has designs on the highest office of them all. And so, as you look inward, and dare I say it, afraid, Crawford Starrick's ambition is fixed on the beyond, to kingdoms and continents as yet unconquered, though not for long, for he knows, as I have warned you time and time again, whosoever controls London controls the world.
Game's beautiful. Just realized you probably had a big echo in that, and I apologize. I had my soundbar on.
The iron ship's from here. The Templar running things is Rupert Ferris and our target 1. Target 2 is Sir David Brewster, who's got his hands on a bauble that could ruin us in this wretched war. Think you both can handle it?
What a question.
All right. My mistake. Ladies and gentlemen, the unstoppable Fry twins. See them nightly at Covent Garden.
George, honestly, I've studied the plans of the laboratory and have every route covered.
And I've got all I need right here. I'll extend your regards to Ferris.
Chat later, George. We've a train to catch.
Jacob! Evie! May the creed guide you, you vagrants!
Poor man. More afraid than ever. The years have not been kind.
Evie Fry, where do you get it from?
The same place as you, Jacob.
Have fun.
Don't die.
How long does he intend to go on like this? He's disrupting the other workers. His trap. Get the machine fixed. And send me some laudanum for my head.
Coming right up.
Alright, so let's start with the lore, not the lore. We're not going to get too deep into the lore, we're just going to sum up the games. First, we started out personally playing as a man by the name of Desmond Miles. He was kidnapped by Abstergo, he was a bartender in New York, and forced to relive the ancestry of his an ancestor.
What do you think you're doing? Stop now! For this trouble!
He was forced to live an ancestor of his.
There's a problem.
I hold the machines. That door opens,
So,
and I have my route to
the
Ferris.
first person he would relive would be the Middle Eastern assassin by the name of Altair ibn Ahad, who lived during the Third Crusade. Specifically, we replayed his life in 1191. We did this so Abstergo could find a map to Pieces of Eden, so they could create a satellite. After he found the map, Desmond would be broken out of Abstergo by Lucy Stillman, led to a hidden spot in, I believe it was Rome, where they met Sean and Rebecca, who we just saw in the beginning of this game. And then he would relive his life, the life of his Italian Renaissance ancestor, whose name was Ezio Auditore da Firenze.
What's all this? Which one of you is responsible?
Me.
The sanitary inspector. This man is dead.
You're the dead man! Run along home. I'll teach you how to beg for mercy.
I like the fact that his hat just kind of flew off. Excuse me. So we relived Ezio's life, so Desmond could learn basically how to fight in a matter of days. He would then find out, while reliving Ezio's life, that Ezio came in contact with a precursor, also known as those who came before, the first civilization, and what we know more often now, at least through the not maybe necessarily the movie, but the comics and the games, or comics and the movie, comics and the books, excuse me, that they were called the Isu. So he would have a piece of Eden that would essentially be marked. So we would continue to relive Ezio's memories after our captor from Abstergo, Warren Vidic, crashed the London assassin hideout and forced us to move to Ezio's ancestral home of in Monteriggioni. I don't have to do a sequence here. Is this a snap to cover? Oh, here we go. We have to be hood up mode. Okay. So after we get to Monteriggioni, we start reliving Ezio's memories again, closer to the year 1500, when he became mentor of Rome. Not only would he become mentor of Rome, how do I do? There it is, back to the click. So after we found where Ezio ended up hiding his apple, we would find the apple, and upon finding the apple as Desmond, we were what's the best way of putting this? We were basically controlled by another member of the Isu race, whose name is Juno, to end up killing Lucy, who freed us from Abstergo. We would find out later that Lucy was actually a Templar. After Desmond kills Lucy under Juno's control, he falls into a coma. Well, what he would find is that to get out of the coma, he would have to relive the final days, not the final days, but the final days of Ezio as a Templar. Not as a Templar. He was. Alright, that didn't go well. He would live the final days of Ezio. And what Ezio actually ended up doing was he found some keys that Altair left behind, that left part of his memories. So Ezio, through Ezio's life, he also relived Altair's life and key points of it. Once he relived all of Ezio's memories, he would find Desmond would find what is called a sync nexus. Here he would meet not Juno. He would meet Tinia, who would tell him about the Grand Temple. Come on, here we go. So once he came out of his coma, he was like, "Hey, I know where we're going," and we are going to New York. So in New York, he would find the Grand Temple. Once they find the Grand Temple, they found Juno forced him into another coma so he could figure out what ancestor he was going to relive. He would end up as a man by the name of Haytham Kenway in the middle of the 1700s, somewhere around 1750, I believe, is when we first meet Haytham. We find out Hatham is on his way to the United States, Boston specifically, and that he is carrying the key that essentially will turn on the Grand Temple and save the world from an impending no, I want I have to so turn on the temple, save the world from an incoming solar flare. Once he finds out that Hatham had a child with a Native American woman, he lived the life of Hatham's son, Rantika Haton, who was a Mohawk during the American Revolution. He would be an assassin, and he would, by the end of Assassin's Creed 3, come into control of the key that Hatham had. Once finding the key and finding batteries in... Where'd he go? He went to Rio de Janeiro, he found one in New York City, and he ended up going to back to Italy to receive the battery. When he received the final battery, he also killed the man who kept him captive for so long. Excuse me. Warren Vidic was his name. So after Vidic's death and he meets Juno, we find out Juno was actually trapped within the Grand Temple, and that when we touched what's called the, I think it was called the Eye, to save the world, we would also release Juno. Desmond decided to save the world and released Juno. Instead of Juno coming back as a full person, she is trapped in what's called the Gray. It's essentially an internet. And that releasing her would end up killing Desmond. This moves us on to a new character in the next game, which was Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Can I just walk through here? No, I have to walk around. Okay. Oh, no, not that button. The person we end up playing as is just some unnamed Animus research analyst who relives the lives of Desmond's ancestor and Hatham's father, Edward Kenway, in the middle of the golden age of pirates. As we do that, we find that Kenway was, of course, a pirate who found the observatory.
Mr. Ferris, sir. The lad in the factory should be taken to be bandaged by the apothecary.
Fine. But dock his wages.
Yes, sir.
Shall we arrive at a final price, Mr. Ferris?
So, but more importantly than finding the observatory, we found out about the Sages. The Sages is reincarnation of Juno's husband, Aita. He's reincarnated every 60 years or so, and they pass down memories from one incarnation to another. Notable historic figures that were sages include Jacques de Molay, Bartholomew Roberts, and Francois Germain. So after finding that out in 4, we moved on to Rogue, where we played, I assumed it was the same research analyst, but it very well could have been a different one, who relived the life of Shay Patrick Cormac. And Shay's life was important because he found out that there are some places in the world that are special temples for essentially holding the ground up. He called them Trees of Eden. Most of the community now just calls them seismic temples. Let's see. And that's, I mean, he was an assassin, but he went to the Templars, and that was the main issue of that. Then we moved on to the latest game, which connected to Cormac, because Cormac killed Arno, the ancestry relives, his father. But we're then moved on to another person, the person we are actually playing now, who relived the life of Arno Victor Dorian, who is in the French Revolution. Arno was essentially in love with a Templar Grandmaster's daughter after allowing, I think he was responsible for his death. His inaction, the way he put it, caused his death. But he would use the Brotherhood as a means to an end instead of sharing their ideals. He would meet Germain and the Sword of Eden, and other than finding out that Abstergo is trying to gather more pieces of Sage DNA to clone a precursor, that's essentially all that Arno's story ties into our overall story as we know now. And now we find that, as Bishop said, they the Templars are trying to do major things, and that we are replaying Jacob and Evie Fry's lives to see what they're up to find the piece of Eden that they're putting up for. Well, let's kill Rupert Ferris and see what he has to say for himself.
It is done.
Oh? What did you accomplish, boy? A bolt loosened in Starrick's machine. A large bolt, but not enough.
Your Grandmaster will fall.
You assassins can circle London to your heart's content. The mechanism we have built has been going strong for 100 years, and will run 1,000 more. It is the very city itself.
We will take London from your hands.
From Croydon? You lurk in the shadows like a coward. I doubt it.
In the 100 years he was talking about back towards, this is 1865, so he's, or 1868, so he's talking like back to Hatham's time in the 1750s. So he's talking about Hatham's Grandmaster Reginald Birch, which is who Henry Green talked about. And that's essentially the overview of where we are in the series. There is, of course, more and more lore that's being added through each game, and while we could recap all of it, it would take a very long time. And I don't think we have that kind of time. Goodbye. I like kicking them off off the train. Poof. I can't. This will be Odyssey for Sparta. Bye bye. For England. So since we know who our yeah.
Well, we seem to have made an unscheduled stop.
Well, since we know who our next target is, Sir David Brewster, let's take a Rupert Ferris, by the way, was not a historic person, but Sir David Brewster, he was born December 11th, 1781. At the age of 12, he would be sent to the University of Edinburgh, graduating in 1800 with a Master of Arts degree. Intending to enter the clergy, he would be a licensed minister of the Church of Scotland, that way. And he would preach around Edinburgh.
Maybe next time I'll walk.
He's like, I didn't do it. So after he would be persuaded by Henry Burgham in 1799 to study light diffraction. During his studies, he would discover the connection between the refractive index and the polarizing angle, biaxial crystals, and would discover the connection, the production of double reflection by using irregular heating. Those discoveries would lead to the production of those discoveries would lead to a Marischal College in Aberdeen, Scotland, conferring on him a legum doctor degree in 1807.
Yard. Guard quarters. Brewster's laboratory. This is where the piece of Eden will be located. No loose ends. Now, to decouple the locomotive and create a diversion.
Well, where is it? Huh? Where's Brewster's supplies? Meter.
Bit drunk, ain't he? All right. So after that, he would receive the Copley Medal and elected as a Fellow of the Royal Society of London in 1815.
I'm on my way, Sir David.
He'd also received the Rumford Medal in 1818. Outside the scientific circles, his fame would spread with the invention of the kaleidoscope. Oh, that didn't go the way I wanted it to. Down, Evie. Alright. He invented the kaleidoscope around 1815, and then the stereoscope, which was the first portable 3D viewing device. And he invented that in 1849. He'd pass at the age of 86 on February 10th, 1868. I wonder what today it is. Now, besides being a scientist, an inventor, he'd also be an author and academic administrator. His work would lead to the creation of the field of optical mineralogy. They'll send you to the lab. That's probably not good. And he would actually be dubbed the father of modern experimental optics and the Johannes Kepler of optics. Surprised the timer's not started kicking away. Let's get down here to where we can... Oh, you have a thing that I want. Can't hold it, can I? It's in your face, bro. And yes, I enjoy Eevee more than I do Jacob, so I will be playing more Eevee than I will Jacob. Just a heads up. If you can.
Smells like Jacob's cooking.
Oh, that's rough. I don't remember that line.
That should keep you busy while I head into your lab.
Besides the kaleidoscope and stereoscope, he'd invent binocular camera. Two types of polymers, the polyzonal lens and the lighthouse illuminator. He'd publish detailed biography of Isaac Newton in 1831.
Follow me down the tracks.
You stay here. Keep a lookout.
All right. I'll shout if I get any bother.
And later he'd be the first scientific historian to examine
Can't be too careful.
Newton's Nachlass. That's one of his works. He was the founder of the British Science Association and would be elected its president in 1849. He would also write popular science pieces, as well as edit the Edinburgh Encyclopedia. He would serve as the principal of the University of St. Andrews from 1837 to 1859, and the University of Edinburgh from 59 to 68. This, of course, would make him the public face of higher education in Scotland during his lifetime. So, Brewster has a big resume, so to speak, and I didn't realize during this game, because of how little time he has, that he was actually a truly important person.
2 more weeks with the device.
Your questionable practices are beginning to draw unwanted attention. You have been given more than enough time to achieve results, Sir David.
I was unaware that you expected me to perform like a cocker spaniel.
Permit me to remind you of your obligation to the Order.
Miss Thorne, you ride me like a racehorse.
Sir David, I will return tomorrow. If you have not unlocked the device's secrets, forget your dogs and horses. I will leave you to the wolves. Good day.
I was merely promised a tour of the premises, my lords.
Who sent you?
It's one of Green's spies.
Get that man to interrogation. Then I want him brought to the lab.
What a pity. But no deviations from the mission.
So you can tell the difference between Jacob and Eevee. She's straight numbers by the books, and Jacob's just like, whatever, I do what I want, and it'll work out. because it always works out. Oh, I only wanted that one, but whatever. Come here. You're gonna die.
Target's clear. Getting tired yet? There she is.
I'm not trying to run from you. I'm trying to kill you. With my favorite weapon, the cane sword. Ooh! 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 She's brutal! She's brutal. Alright. Now, they mentioned that he worked on an apple. That he's working on an apple. But, this is this specific apple, here, this is the only thing that we know about this apple. Is that Brewster worked on it. That's all we know.
Nearly there. Where is Brewster's laboratory? All reconnaissance pointed straight here.
My favorite Unity assassination right there. That baseball slide into an ankle takedown and then stab him in the chest.
A secret laboratory? Well, well. Perhaps I can aid this interrogation.
Need to go up again. Where's the... Yeah, well, maybe. No. Should be another... I'll listen to that violin. Come do something about it. Oh, that didn't go the way I thought it would. That's alright though. I'm surprised it's... Someone coming after me? Sounded like someone was coming after me.
Thank you kindly. I was in ever such a squeaky fix when, what do you know? You rescue me.
Where's the hidden laboratory?
Untie me and then we can parley, milady.
I'm pressed for time. Tell me now.
It's underground. Requires a key. One of the guards nicked mine, cheeky sod.
Thank you.
Now? Untie me?
You got yourself in. I trust you can get yourself out again.
Not to worry, milady. Can still recall a couple of tricks from me carnival days.
Charming.
I was gonna say he left his hat, but I'm pretty sure that's one of the guards that I killed. Oh, I didn't want to go in there. Alright. But now, should be a... There it is. And once again, we're not going for 100%, so if I don't get all of the
Let's have a butcher's downstairs then. I want to see that artifact.
Forward to a better sport.
Didn't sound good so well, did it?
Got it.
Alright, so now we get to go find Brewster's laboratory, which is back that way. Excuse me. I like the old-time posters. Pretty cool, at least to me. Can you see any barrels I could use? Yeah. Suppose I could have just ran there, huh? Wish there was more than one under there. I was able to get it. Was not expecting to get it. That's pretty cool. I'll take it. I've never come in this way, so I'm used to taking the bottom end down here and fighting all the way around. So I'm not used to being up here. This is actually pretty cool.
What's David up to in there?
Don't know and don't care to ask. Because at night, the crates glow with...
There you are. The entrance to Brewster's lab.
You're the only one guarding it. Cool. I'll take it. I'm gonna make this pretty easy. Danger. Men working overhead. Just feel like playing the violin or something through this music. This music's amazing.
Back on track.
Oh, I didn't realize I had to earn double assassinations. Alright, I'll take it. And then the other thing I want is health, if I can do health. Yep, sure can. This is why we needed to do double assassinations. We needed both of these guys. You gotta make sure both of them are red or they won't do it.
Do as you're bloody told. And by the bloke says, oh.
I think I was just still standing there, like, what's up? Down, Evie. Good night, fellas. Alright, don't you have to swim? Swing, there we go. There we go. I don't know how much of this is clean water and how much of this is poo water. There we go.
Piece of Eden.
Increase the electricity.
But it'll become unstable, sir.
You heard what Miss Thorne said. We need results now.
I'm sure they wouldn't want to hold on to that metal rod. Now this is all we know about this artifact, is that they experimented on it. We don't know where it came from, how they got it, anything. Okay, back up there and assassinate him by air. How are we gonna do that? Come on over here, Sir David. It's cheeky, but I'll take it. Let's see what you have to say, sir.
It is time to lay down your head, Sir David Brewster.
But I have so much more to discover.
Do not be afraid.
I'm not. God will protect me.
I will continue your experiment.
You will not stop, Starrick. Miss Thorne has already found another piece of Eden, more powerful than the last.
I will take that one too.
We fight to gain what we cannot take with us. It's in our nature.
It's one of the few Templars that have mentioned God and believing.
I have to get out of here now.
Yeah, because that apple's going crazy. It's funny that this experiment looked a lot like the depiction of the Tunguska explosion. So I wonder if it was kind of like that or not. I mean, it's just
That was far too close.
just something I thought of.
I must find a way out.
Jacob probably wouldn't be able to fit through there. But that is a tight squeeze. She got lucky there's a tunnel here at all. know. There we go. That's the end of sequence 2. We're actually essentially done, but we are going to go through until there are no more cutscenes so we can see everything going into tomorrow's sequence number 3. So let's see where we go. Let's find out what happens.
Was there explosion?
What explosion?
Evie?
Piece of Eden detonated and took the lab with it.
The magic lump of hyperbolic metal. I'm shocked.
Simply because you have never valued the pieces does not
All
mean...
went according to plan,
There was a slight complication.
How slight?
The lab exploded.
Jacob.
You derailed a train.
Oh, he did. Did he?
Well, the train derailed and I happened to be on it. I killed my target.
Brewster is also no more.
Then all in all a successful mission in spite of you two.
What about London?
What about it?
We're wasting our time out here.
You know as well as I do that London has been the domain of the Templars for the last 100 years. They are far too strong yet. Patience.
The Templars have found a new piece of Eden.
Sir David is dead. They do not know how to use it. The Council shall guide us. Sound advice that your father would have seconded. I shall see you back in Crawley.
Patience, Evie.
Ah, the gentle sound of opportunity passing us by.
So what's stopping us? London is waiting to be liberated. Forget Crawley.
Father would have wanted us to listen.
Oh, Father. You could continue his legacy in London.
Freeing future generations from a city ruled by Templars. You know, Jacob Fry, you might just be right.
Then shall we?
Yes. Let's. Onward to London.
I know. You've only had a taste of our latest acquisition from Abstergo. But I want to check in on Sean and Rebecca. I still think attacking a Templar is a mistake.
Call Dr. Grammatica.
Come on. Oh, Isabel. What a lovely surprise.
Our mutual friends will be here shortly to search for the artifact. Once it's located, I'll let you know.
Super. Always a pleasure.
Prick.
It's people like you that give historians a bad name.
I'm afraid I don't have time for you today, Mr. Hastings.
Thank you for making my job easy.
Oh, shit.
It does look grim.
Master Berg, Agent Acosta. Deal with them, please. Move it! Hunt them down!
Well, they did something right, I guess. They had an escape plan.
Was wait for you to search the data. Their little stunt has put the whole operation at risk. You need to synchronize Jacob and Evie's memories. Find something that puts us ahead of the enemy. Time is of the essence, and lives are now clearly on the line. Good luck.
Oh, I remember why we were looking through Arno's memories. We knew he ran into a sage, Francois Thomas Germain, and we were trying to see if his body would be usable for their DNA cloning sequence. That's why we relived Arno's memories. Now I remember. So we're going to let this load. we're gonna watch the next memory, not the memory. We're gonna, if it leads to a lead-in video, then we'll watch that.
I've never seen so many people all at once.
Churning seas of London. It's just the way Father described. Now, to find Henry Green and formulate a plan of attack against the Templars.
Who's Mr. Green again?
The assassin watching over London? Did you not listen the first 3 times?
Listen to what? Oi, watch it.
Beg pardon, sir.
Oi! Come back here, you filthy dipper!
We're actually not going to chase the thief because that leads directly into the sequence. So we're gonna call it here. So I enjoy this game. I don't know if you can tell based on my reaction from what you're getting now to what you did yesterday with Arno. But if you like the content that I brought, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Take a look at the links in the description below for my website and my social media. And until next time, have a great night.